it's you! Come on in and join us!
Yo, we are green with envy over the new release from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a Halloween morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Servants with Servants and Virtual Parties.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet!
Hey, y'all, come on in. We're so glad you found our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, join the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. It's a cool group of folks from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we recently added the Garden of Bali Splash into our den. And it's been very cool to have this side by side with La Tierra Mojada. It's funny, in your brain, you think that they're a little bit more similar. And then when you have them side by side, they are definitely different.
But I love the similarities, because for me, this is that same sense, but before the rains come, before the petrichor, where you've still got those late summer flowers and the beautiful senses of herbs and spices on the breeze. So this is what I'm wearing in August, and La Tierra Mojada is my October scent. And I love that. For me, these are kind of the twins of the shave locker in that sense. So we are so excited because last week we woke up to a Wonka email from Douglas and Fran letting us know that a new Halloween creation was on its way from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Let's meet the sew. From the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, introducing Greenwitch Envy. There's something about October, something in the air. Just as the leaves curl and wither, as the nights stretch out long and dark, you feel it, don't you? The prickling along the back of your neck, like the season itself, watching, waiting. It's a time, as you know, when the boundaries here at the PAA universe are thin, when what's been forgotten sometimes claws its way back into our lives, stitch by stitch. 'Tis the season, no?
This October, Greenwitch Envy is coming for you. If you were around in 1997, you remember this scent, Gucci Envy for men. Something green, something shiny, something smooth, something you can't quite put your finger on, but you couldn't shake it either. A scent that stayed with you. It got inside your head. It got on your skin. Hell, it got under your skin too, like a breeze that carried the essence of spring into a ghost city. Its architecture was modern, a minimalist statement that resisted gaudiness. The composition started with fresh green notes and a cool, metallic accord that froze the senses in time. Then, it gradually warmed up with woody notes and musk. And just like that, it disappeared. Gone. No warning, no explanation. One day, it was on the shelves, and the next, just a memory. A phantom. But ghosts have a way of returning sometimes, especially when PAA is involved, no?
That's what I love most about this world. Nothing ever truly goes away forever. The witching hour. Why Greenwitch? Well, there's a story there, one most people don't know. Greenwitch is part of the Dark is Rising series by Susan Cooper. Long before Harry What's-His-Name, there was The Grey King. As a child, I was captivated by these books, pulled into a mysterious, magical world that will forever haunt me, in a good way. So, with this classic tale in mind, I made this release a dual homage. Greenwitch Envy is now part of two stories, a feeling of old magic and a scent born of the earth, of roots that go deep into the ground, of autumn nights where the air turns cold and sharp, and you can almost hear the ancient and recent past scratching to get through. It's for those who understand that some things will never really die.
This October, Greenwitch Envy returns. You think you can handle her? This release isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the ones who remember the old ones, for the ones who crave that rush of nostalgia mixed with a hint of the haunt. This is the scent you wear when you want to be noticed, when you want to be remembered, when you want to linger in their thoughts. Greenwitch Envy, a haunting homage to the iconic Gucci Envy for men. One of our more mysterious doppelgangers here for a short time, just for the season. But something tells me it'll stay with you long after October's come and gone. Greenwitch Envy, because some things never let go. Try something different this fall season with Phoenix Shaving.
Y'all, and we have reached out to a few members of the Whiff Pack who know their frags. And y'all, they are so excited about this one because along with like Calvin Klein's Eternity, there are some scents that are just defining of the 5 or 6 years that they really hit the top of their popularity. Where like it says, everybody knew it, but not everybody might have known exactly what it was.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what whiffs make their way over to me when we open Pandora's box. All right, y'all. So this is how they come from PAA when you buy a single set. It rarely happens to us.
It rarely does.
There you go.
Okay.
Woo.
We are honored to have received this so
Indeed.
early.
Thank you so much for sending this out to us for
Ooh,
free
it's
to
wrapped
review.
in a bag, too.
Look at the label.
Ooh, oh, we got the shiny one.
Ooh, y'all, not only is it a hollow label, but it is gorgeous.
It's almost like it's supposed to be like, looks like it's hand painted.
Right, it's like a pencil sketch with like watercolor.
Ooh, I wonder what those original book covers were of that series. you
Oh,
mentioned.
right. I wonder if this is part of that homage. Oh, we gotta look that
It
up.
has a fun fall, like creepy off kilter vibe for
Y'all,
sure for
and
the
then-
holiday
Hold
here.
on, let's see if it's the same kind of label on the splash. And if y'all have never read the back of your aftershave box, you owe it to yourself. All right, let's see.
Wow. Oh, it's green.
That's green.
No
It's a little
way.
green in the tweet. Oh, y'all, I'm excited for these perfect friends. Are you ready for your Wicked Witch of the First Impressions?
And it's got the pumpkin dude on it.
It just looks so cool. Look at that. Oh, it does.
It does.
Look at the PAA logo has been
I
made
thought something was wrong with it
into
at
a
first.
pumpkin.
But
Look
he
at
has
that.
he
Awesome.
has shaving lather on his
Right.
face.
Yeah, my public school bordered a refinery and a freeway. Nobody was wearing Gucci, but I'm excited to smell this.
And we looked it up. This came out in 1998.
Right.
Was the original scent.
Yeah.
So it's kind of another 90s homage. This is fun.
I know. All right, here we go. Take it in. Let's see what we get.
All right, a haunting double homage.
I know.
It says, wow.
We do know that we noticed an original bottle of the juice was going for $1,200 on Amazon. So I'm guessing the original is as beloved as everybody says it is. So I'm excited to have this homage to it.
I'm curious what makes it a fall scent. So I'm kind of
Ooh,
excited to
right.
see like why it's in the lineup for October,
right.
you know?
Because Casi Perfecto was perfect for spring. Are
You're
you
right. And
kidding
so
me?
maybe that's like kind of going on here.
Right.
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Yeah, let's see. Is it green?
It's not green.
What do you get?
I'm trying to feel like if I feel like I have smelt this before.
That's what they said.
But
You
I wouldn't
probably
have
will never
known where or when or
Right.
how.
Yeah,
It's just subtly familiar, but that's all. Like just enough to be
Right.
like, okay, I think I have smelt something like this or
Right.
similar to this. Okay, now let me get back to this. I don't even know if I can explain what's making this happen.
Oh, I love that.
It's funny because my first whiff, I was like, oh, that could be more summery. And then the more I was whiffing it, I was like, no, that's definitely fall.
Nice.
So I don't know how it's happening. I'm getting like, there's something in here that reminds me of like a dry rock.
Right.
Not solstice-ish,
Okay.
but something like a perfumer version of that somehow. Because it's, I don't want to just say it's clean. That's not where
Right.
it's taking me. But there's something that is natural that's making it seem bright.
Gotcha. Now, is it like a sandstone or is it more like a cold granite sense?
I think more sandstone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But there's a lot of different spices or herbs.
Nice.
They're not normal classic aftershave versions,
Right.
but I can tell they're in that like category
Right.
somehow.
Gotcha.
It does lean towards a green herby green side.
Right.
But I don't know if I would have picked that up right away. Like now that I know the title, that
Right.
helped me get there. But I don't think I would have been like, oh, this is definitely a green,
Nice.
type
Yeah,
of herb.
yeah. Are there any scent notes that are jumping forward as like the center of its personality?
I think they kind of stay with me the full whiff, which is
Whoa.
why I keep trying to go back. There's something at the beginning
Right.
that's a little more green.
Right.
Then I get more of that white, granity something.
Right,
like
right.
kind of stony thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's not lime, but it's something that's keeping it brighter.
Gotcha.
Which is what's confusing because I know it's adding that cool, crisp kind of part of fall.
Yeah.
Like it's keeping it in that zone.
Right.
It's not a very dark scent at all.
Gotcha.
So it's funny because you think of fall and you think October and you're like, everything gets dark and whatever. But the scent itself, there's not much in here that's dark.
Nice.
It may be just the herbs, like the darker green colors, but I'm not getting anything heavy, no normal, like kind of assumed
Right.
fall things,
Right.
which is what's interesting.
Well, for me, to get those more dark fall scents, I kind of have to go into Muir Woods. I kind of have to go into some of
Yeah.
the places that are a little more foresty around here.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, when you grow up around San Francisco, it's pretty urban.
Right.
So, like, fall in a city has a much different sense than fall out in a forest or if you lived in a cabin somewhere in Connecticut.
Right. So there's no menthol in here.
Okay.
But if we were standing up on the hill, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge and watching the fog literally rolling in and that cool kind of damp in the air that's coming through,
Right.
somehow this is creating that with scents.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that kind of come through? I feel like those are all the words I've got, y'all.
I want to see if I'm right about this.
It is not a normal cologne scent right away.
Right.
Like if you smell it, it's not something that kind of fits in the categories that we have so far in our den.
Right.
So I'm curious to see how you can explain this better than me, because I feel like this is a whole new lane.
Now, it's my contention that with fine perfumes and things, like this is an homage to,
right,
those are kind of designed to almost hide their scent notes in an effort to create a brand new personality, something that from beginning to end is brand new, and when it's bringing to the table, you're not finding scent notes inside of it. But the shaving soap world very often invites you into those scent notes. So for like the beach from PAA, you're invited into the sand, the surf, the vanilla, the Sade Smooth Operator. Mm-hmm. But I think with more of the fine cologne homages, those were more designed to create a brand new personality where you weren't supposed to know the scent notes. You were supposed to know that new personality. Right. So let me see what I've got going on.
I'm pretty sure that explains this very well, but I don't know how to explain the scent that's recreating.
Wow. Y'all, my brain just showed me a stark white bedroom and a really dark mahogany set of drawers on which was one bottle of this. And like, okay, wait a minute.
Where was I?
Y'all, I think what this is doing is it's taking everything that's gloriously spicy about that era, about the 90s, but those are going to have an edge to them. Those are going to have like a bitter or a sour once you take them too far.
Right.
And then all of the sweets of the 90s. Think about Eternity from Calvin Klein. Those sweets go so high that they end up getting pokey and a little too sweet for me. So what this does, this takes all of those beautiful, dark, spicy woods and kind of brings them into the lights and shaves off everything that gets too bitter and spicy about the woods. And then it goes into the sweets and it shaves off everything that would have gotten too sweet. And then it kind of puts them back together in this like magical way. So is this like more of the darker, woodier colognes? Yes. Is this more of your sweeter Calvin Klein Eternities? Yes. And then they're both put together in this amazing tug of war. So I think that's why my brain gave me like the whitest room I could imagine and then the darkest set of furniture I could imagine. And then the little bottle was sitting in between them. So like something about the light and the dark and where those go. Well, it's a witch. This is wild because I can sense those darks going all the way up to that line where my nose expects them to then get a little bit too pokey. And there's something about the sweets that keep them from doing that. And the same thing happens with the sweets. I start climbing and before I get too high, those woods are there once again to ground me.
That's why I was thinking it was a different lane because I couldn't put it directly in one or the other with what other homages we have so far. Like it really is a kind of like a different vibe in itself.
And it stays above the equator in the lights and the spices. Like somehow this doesn't get all the way down to tobaccos or patchoulis.
Nope. I still get that like stony kind of part, but there's something at the very back that I don't think I was smelling earlier.
Gotcha.
It's not a molasses-y thing.
Oh, right.
But it's something in there, like a maple, but like a candied thing.
I would be shocked if something in those base notes weren't gourmand.
Right. I mean, now that I'm thinking fall, I'm like, that might be what it is. Because at first, I was thinking that was more of the herb side. Right. But I don't think so. I think it's something like that.
And in the center, this has a beautiful non-gourmandy creaminess to it. And I'm not sure how they're doing that.
I really have no idea. I love that it's a different scent for us because you think you have things in mind and then you think reading that, like, it's October, it's going to be something we know. No, it is not.
Well, I love how it's like autumnal, but if autumnal was like white and beige and light blue and clean and beautiful and, well, light green. Maybe.
Right? But it's the perfect, like right now, this week, it was like barely 60-something cold outside. And then now it's supposed to be like 90 today. And then we're supposed to go back down. So we're just barely getting a tease of actual fall weather. So this is a perfect scent.
We call it Fool's Autumn. So this is our bougie sprayer from Sean and Julie and our Dark Nebula bowl from the KUN workshop. I love this thing, y'all.
You can see its magic.
Is our green brush from Craig at Opus Brush. So we thought that was apropos for today. Look
our little witch potions brewing over here.
Look at this.
I'm actually super curious to see what this smells like leather because I think something in the middle that we're both smelling is going to hopefully like kind of just explain itself a little better.
A bubble bath at the Carlisle Hotel.
Right, there is something definitely Gucci tier about this. Like it's up there.
I'm going to say something I rarely say. This for me smells like Oscar night.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like everything is bright and shiny and bright lights and searchlights and tuxedos and cocktail dresses. That's what this smells like to me. This is the Oscars.
And there's nothing pokey in this scent. I know sometimes we say that, but literally I don't feel like, if you were in a room of Oscar people everywhere wearing the same thing, I still don't feel like it would be like too much.
That's
Some
why it's
scents
genius.
don't work like that.
Right. It is the absolute opposite of pokey. So
Yeah.
like you almost can't get enough. You know, like
Right.
pokey is like, okay, that's enough. This is the opposite. This is like, I can't get a whiff deep enough.
Look at that lather, my
It's
friend.
just calming. Like, and I think that's why I said a bubble bath in the car. It's like, it just got this beautiful calming sense of it. I just relaxed the moment I sensed it.
And I know it's a a men's cologne, but there's something in this that I feel like isn't too overwhelming.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It kind of makes me want to smile. I know like a lot of the other fall ones make me want to cozy up and hide under a blanket. No, this one actually is like making me excited for the fall weather.
These are not dark spices. These are light woody spices, and it's amazing. All right, so I know we never talk about lather here on the Barbershop Duet, but y'all, look at this lather. And when we watch Angelo on the Shave Arcade, we like to see how he lathers the face, gives us a sense of the base and the soap itself. Y'all, are you kidding? Do you feel more witchy?
It smells good close to the nose, actually.
Oh.
Like, really, I think you're right. I think there is like a molassesy something at the back.
Y'all, I think this is apropos that I mentioned Casi Perfecto, because I think this is a fabulous autumn bookend to Casi Perfecto.
Yeah, there's something about the cleanliness and the brightness that's in both of them that like it's just like, oh, this is nice,
and
man.
the charm of the sweetness is the same in this as in Casi Perfecto.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I love when artisans bring out scents like this, because like we saw on Amazon, if you really want to smell this, it's $1,200. We are not spending that, I'm sorry. You can get your nose on this here and you're like, wow, I totally understand why this had a place in 1998 and it still works now.
I love this.
Let me just say, there's nothing about this that you couldn't pull off every day, like if you wanted.
This would
totally
be a great
approachable.
everyday scent. That's something else we don't say very often. This could be a signature scent.
It really could.
I'm surprised. I would be shocked if I didn't know somebody that wore this daily.
There is something oddly familiar about this. I don't know if it's just walking down the aisle at Nordstrom's and getting a whiff of somebody, like on the counter, or if I actually knew somebody that wore this. But it's very approachable. There's nothing in it, like we said, that was pokey. It's just an open air kind of a scent.
And y'all, much like the mysteries in the book this is an homage to, I have no idea what secrets we might find when we look up the scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the resurrection of envy.
I feel like if we had a multiple choice, though, I don't know if I'd pick out half the scent notes they're going to list, because I still don't even know if I've wrapped my head around what's on the puck here.
Hold on a second, because when you read these, you might be a little surprised. So hold on. Greenwitch Envy isn't just a fragrance, it's a summoning. You think you've forgotten that scent, but the moment it hits you, the top notes of ginger, cardamom, pepper, with a wisp of mandarin orange. Ooh. It's like flipping a switch. Memories flood back. The ones that have been hiding in the remote corners of your mind, waiting for a scent like this to draw them out. Now, hold on. This is wild, because I wouldn't have picked these out.
No.
But now reading this, ginger, absolutely, that clean, spicy sense. Cardamom, that dark, spicy whisper. Pepper, effervescence for the nose. And then mandarin orange, a little bit of a dry sweet.
You were right when you said a little gourmandy in there.
Love it. And then...
All right. The regenerating heart of the fragrance beats with sandalwood.
And it's there. You get a sense of the sandalwood in the center of this.
Surprisingly. And then cedar.
Love it.
And a touch of carnation, Marge's like.
There is a little bit more than a touch of carnation in here, and it's why it's hitting me in that homey place, because my dad was a funeral director my whole life. In the 70s and 80s, the scent of carnations was the scent of funeral homes. So there is something both comforting and a little scary and mysterious for me for that smell of carnation, rarely found in a shave soap, but boy, do I love how that, in its subtle sweetness, brings everything together with such a personality. A carnation is up there with a rose as far as its strength of character, and I love how it's at the center of this.
I don't think you'd ever pick that out, but now that I've read it, I can tell it's there.
Well, that's what I love about this. I don't think any of these you'd pick out, but having read them, these make absolute sense. Like, generally, I'll read these and be like, I don't even know how those come together to make this. But as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh no, I am getting a giant sense of each one of these. And I kind of want to see where the metallic note is coming from, because it's not a metal accord. It's something being kind of built inside of these. Okay.
That unexpected floral note you never saw coming, but somehow makes perfect sense. It's the walking into a room and feeling a presence that shouldn't be there. But still, you're drawn in. And then there's the base. Incense.
Love that.
Tobacco, vanilla. Okay, those are doing different things in here than you're expecting, just so you know.
And I don't think we've ever seen incense with tobacco, but that is incredible, because the tobacco brings you in with something you know, and then the incense kind of takes that and turns it into something a little more darker, a little more nighttime. And then the vanilla, like the tobacco vanilla, comes in and just quells those and makes them friendly and charming.
So I think I think. Maybe. The 3 that we just read, sandalwood, cedar, and carnation.
Right.
And then mix that with incense, tobacco, and vanilla.
Right.
Somehow the way those are interacting is giving that like clean room vibe you got. And then I was getting that like white stone kind of thing. So they're different sides of these scents that are happening.
Right. And then.
All right. Then it has a lingering edge of vetiver and patchouli. That might be just enough of the green that I was getting.
And y'all, the vetiver and patchouli are just there to almost give you the sense of churning up the soil in a fall harvest. And that's what's kind of under the surface for me.
Like there is something a little outdoorsy about the scent, but it's not as overwhelming as some of the other fall ones that we've had.
I just can't get over the sense that this would be the perfect guy's bubble bath. I know that's a crazy thought.
No,
I know
I'm
that's
with
something
you.
guys generally admit to doing, although I think they do it all the time. But this, because there's nothing floral, there's nothing cutesy about it, but it is a fabulous, beautiful, soapy, clean, comforting scent.
And I'm still getting like the word crisp coming to mind.
Right.
Like the turning of the season. Somehow that's in here. And I it's just some magic clearly happening.
And I think part of the glory of this is it's like man-made senses of uber clean rooms. And then like natural senses of like spice and wood. That's the other balance of this. That's, I think, why I was getting like in my brain first that like super white room and the super dark furniture.
Yeah, maybe. And there is just more like in the lather, a little more like masculine hit that's coming through. And now reading these, I get why. These are the smells of forgotten places. Old leather-bound books gathering dust.
Yes.
A smoldering fire that's almost gone out, but still carries the faintest trace of warmth. It's rich, it's dark, but light, and it clings to you long after the bottle is closed. It's like a little spell from the witch. It just clings to you.
Just clean and beautiful and soapy and magical.
I think I get more of the incense, tobacco, vanilla vibe at the end versus like kind of in the middle. It's very intriguing how that hits.
Love this, y'all. And you know what? We might have to take this down a little bit deeper because I see a splash hiding over there in the forest.
I can't get over its green.
I know, I love that. And this is the new plug in the aftershave bottle.
We are
Famous
fans.
Artisan Accoutrements. Once it's out, it's out.
It stays up if we can get it up.
There it is. All right, here we go.
I'm so curious. There's got to be more in this splash now that we've read that list.
Right?
I feel like that happens every time. We're like, wait.
Oh, y'all. Y'all. Even the subtle sense of like going all the way back to those Avon colognes of the 60s and 70s. Whoa.
Oh, there's more. Now I get a little warmer than like an amber kind of side.
This is such a gorgeous, clean scent.
Right? I feel like we need better words, but what you're saying is so true.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
It would need to be a word that means both clean and charming. I'm sure there's one in German.
I have not gotten any nighttime stuff much at all, but look at the label. Like, this is a daytime place.
That's beautiful.
Like, it's coming through. I'm not sure how. Marcus needs more.
This is the smell of the Oscars. This is the smell of Michael J. Fox at the end of Secret of My Success when he walks in to take over the company.
But there's also something chill about this scent, too. Like, how does that work?
I'm getting that very, very subtle metal sense of like silver somehow at the very end of this.
But those subtle sweet things are delicious in here. It does really like that, you know, when leaves first start to fall, they have that lighter yellow color.
Right, yes.
That's what I'm getting. I don't know how that's happening, but that's where I'm at.
This is the smart, the clean, the clever, the safe guy on one end who does not own a neckerchief and has never ridden a horse. This guy dropped out of a great liberal arts college.
There you go. Do you get a certain age range from this? Because I feel like it's a pretty wide breadth.
Yeah.
Like, it's not setting you in for, like, a certain age range here.
Well, I've been saying bubble bath for half an hour, so this definitely has, like, a youthful, playful sense
It
about it.
does.
Playful. That's the
a good
word
word.
I want. This is a playful soap. It's got that youthful, playful sense.
It does.
But it's also got a little bit of wisdom standing there in the corner,
Right,
making
like
sure
the
you don't make an
tobacco
idiot
and
out of
the
yourself.
incense.
Yeah,
It's in
those kind
there.
of things.
But there's just like a general, like, I don't want to say all-encompassing, but I feel like multiple personalities could pull this off somehow. Like, you know, I know you were just listing those, like, who it could be.
Right.
But there's parts in this that I feel like whoever it's on, it will just gravitate towards the side of the scent that you need.
Right. Not a lawyer, not a doctor, but somebody loaded who still wears a suit during the day. Who is this? This Pee Wee Herman. An author, an Imagineer, somebody
There
like
you go. Okay, look at this. And doesn't the label kind of look like, isn't it Superman that he's on the farm and it's like in the middle?
Right, I was going
What's
to say
that town
Kansas
called?
and the Wizard of Oz, but
Yeah,
yeah, Smallville, right? When he
right.
meets his aunt and uncle for the first
So
time.
he could pull off this scent, don't you
Oh.
think? Like, see the label, y'all? Could that be his little cottage with a witch?
Telling you,
Oh.
and I do know Superman doesn't fly. He falls with style. Yes!
Because Clark...
This is a Clark Kent. scent. It's an alter ego scent.
Because it could be when he's got the cape on or when he's in his normal clothes. Like, I feel like it's got both sides covered somehow.
This is Clark Kent and Peter Parker all rolled into one. This is one of my favorite PAAs all year. Y'all, this is wild.
I love that it's like a seasonal doppelganger. That's a new fun thing to look forward to, y'all.
So it's pretty simple. Y'all just be a little girl in a gingham dress in a barnyard dreaming of worlds far away. Well, you're going to get whisked up into a hurricane and dropped into the magical land of Oz, where you're going to meet Glinda the Good Witch. The first thing she's going to tell you is that good witches are beautiful and bad witches are ugly. And then she's going to turn to you and say, are you a good witch or a bad witch? And you just got your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Greenwitch Envy, an absolutely beguiling scent. I get it. I now get why there are folk songs sung about the original. This, for me, captures the essence of a perfect masculine bubble bath at the Palace Hotel in New York City on Christmas Eve, and I'm not sure how. Equally fitting for a night on the town or a perfect comforting sense at bedtime. Y'all, this is just beguiling no matter which way you look at it. Thank you, Douglas and Fran, for sending this out to us. Welcome to Messages.
So for our spooky Halloween fun, we wanted to give you a chance to win $20 gift card to Southern Witchcraft.
Yeah, y'all, all you have to do to be eligible is send an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you, mention Southern Witchcrafts, and then check back here on November 2nd when we have our Alexa choose our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck.
I'm really glad I never found this before now, because I probably would have tried to save up $1,200 on Amazon because this is that beautiful and charming a scent. I kind of get it when they talk about this is the kind of personality that is a once in a generation personality. Things like Calvin Klein's Obsession or Eternity, those kind of things like Creed Aventus that pop out and are just like so defining that not only is that scent going to have that characteristic, but a bunch of scents around that for the next 5 years are all going to kind of borrow little parts of it. It's that. This is that OG scent.
It's fun, though, because this is a scent for me that my nose needs to take a little more time to get to know.
Absolutely.
Not in a bad way, but but just how it's built and how it's put together. It's like a new type of strategy for a puzzle or something. Like, I want to spend more time with it, or when we go for a walk and you're wearing it, or I'm wearing it. Like, it's one of those ones that you need to spend a little time to get to know.
And I would be willing to bet that the book that this is the original homage to gets better and better and better as the chapters progress, because as I keep whiffing this, my nose gets more and more impressed as the whiff gets longer and longer, and that doesn't always happen. Sometimes the journey ends after a second or two.
Right.
This one, my lungs aren't even big enough to find the end of this book.
And it's kind of funny, like when we do get to open a soap, we're so grateful from PAA to do this, but when we're ahead of the game and we get to smell it, it's like we can't call everyone to be like, have you smelled this yet? Do you know what it's like? To compare notes, because it's such a different scent. I wanted to have like more noses tell me.
Call people and say, hey, we smelled something great today. What is it? We can't tell you. It's a
Stop
secret until next
week.
week.
The witches will be after us. We can't say.
Y'all, once this gets dropped, and if you're watching this, it's probably live on the PAA website. Let us know what you think. Put in the comments, or if you knew the original.
Thank you so much for sending this out to review. We are so excited for everyone else to get their noses on
So excited to just have this in the shade den. This is awesome stuff.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
Ooh, you'll smell better just watching this.